All right, today we are diving into one heck of a story about a high-stakes sting operation to catch a phone scammer. This was a tense, hours-long hunt, and it was filled with some really bizarre twists. For a while, it honestly looked like it was all falling apart, until a single text message flipped the whole thing on its head. And this is what it all boiled down to. This one text suddenly pops up in a police group chat. Suspect is in custody. You have to understand, this was a huge shock, because just moments before, the entire operation seemed like a complete and total bust. So that's the big mystery here, right? The scammer's guy, the money mule, never showed up. The suspect never took the bait. So how on earth did they end up arresting him? Well, to figure that out, we've got to rewind and see how this whole thing kicked off. Okay, so here's the setup. It's a classic sting. You've got federal agents, local cops, and a team of scam baiters all working together. The goal was to lure in the money mule, the person who physically picks up the cash, and catch him red-handed. And believe me, the bait they were using was pretty substantial.
Let's just quickly break down how this particular scam works. It's called an over-refund scheme. It all starts with a fake text, maybe from Apple, saying you just bought something expensive. So you panic, you call the number to cancel it. The scammer on the line pretends to help you, but then, oops, they claim they accidentally refunded you thousands of dollars too much. That's when they create this huge emergency, demanding you withdraw that extra cash right now for their courier to come and pick it up.
So for this operation, the bait was $60,000, all fake cash, of course. The scam baiter, who was playing the part of an elderly man named Felix Fleming, got on the phone and told the scammers, "Yep, I've got your 60 grand right here, just waiting for your guy." And this is where things get weird, right from the very beginning. To make sure he was talking to the right person, the scammer asks Felix for a speaking password. And Felix's chosen phrase, "My favorite color, the piss yellow." I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It just set this bizarre, surreal tone for the whole cat and mouse game that was about to play out. Now, if you're thinking this was a quick pickup, think again. This thing turned into a marathon, a multi-hour hunt, with law enforcement tracking the suspect's every single move as his paranoia just got more and more obvious. Yeah, the plan went sideways almost immediately. First, the courier's a no-show. The excuse? Oh, a small accident. Then, a little later, the suspect finally appears in a rental car, but he just circles the area, and circles and circles. He never commits. For hours, this guy is just driving around, parking at a restaurant, then a hospital, walking in aimless circles. He was clearly spooked and wanted nothing to do with getting near that house. And you could hear his fear over the phone as his demands just got more and more absurd. He's asking Felix, who's supposed to be 95 years old and disabled, remember, to walk down the street with $60,000 in cash. He even offers to call him an Uber. And the reason he gives? Get this, it's for your safety. Nah, it was because he was terrified of approaching the house himself. Well, after hours of this game, patience was wearing pretty thin on both sides, and the calls started getting hostile. After being accused of wasting time, the scammer just snaps and tries to pull rank with this ridiculous lie. You're talking to an officer right now. But the scam baiter wasn't having any of it. His response was blunt. I don't give a damn who you are. The whole act was just crumbling. Then, right before it all falls apart, the scammer asks this one last bizarre question: which YouTube channel you run? So he knew something was wrong, that he was being baited or recorded for a channel, but he just couldn't figure out who or how. And right after that, click, the line went dead. The pickup was officially off. So that was it, right? The guy gets away, the operation is a total failure. Well, just when everyone thought it was over and the suspect had escaped, the story takes a sharp, completely unexpected turn. You can just imagine the mood for the team on the resources. All hope really seemed lost. And then that text hits the group chat again. Suspect is in custody. The confusion must have instantly turned to celebration. But how was that even possible? He was never arrested for the attempted pickup. So what happened? The answer was something called a full extradition warrant. Now, this is a pretty powerful legal tool. It basically means a suspect is so wanted for a crime in one state that any law enforcement officer in the entire country is required to arrest them on site. No questions asked.
So here's what was happening behind the scenes. While the suspect was busy driving in circles, a federal agent was doing some good old-fashioned police work. They ran the rental car's license plate, got the driver's name from the company, Samar Nawaz, and ran that name through their database. And bingo. The search instantly revealed that Nawaz was a wanted man with a full extradition warrant out for fraud. And that explained everything. His paranoia, his caution, his refusal to get anywhere near the trap. The guy was already on the run.
So armed with that warrant, police just had to wait for him to leave town. They pulled him over and arrested him right there on that pre-existing warrant. But his troubles? Oh, they were just getting started.
Because on top of the crime he was already wanted for, his actions during this sting just earned him 5 new felony charges. We're talking criminal conspiracy, computer fraud, and even criminal impersonation for that whole "I'm an officer" stunt.
And you can really see the pattern here. That original warrant was out of North Carolina for defrauding an elderly victim out of tens of thousands of dollars using the exact same kind of PayPal scams. As a result of this new arrest, he was being held on a $25,000 cash-only bond with an additional immigration hold from ICE.
So, in the end, this operation didn't just stop one scam. It caught a wanted fugitive who was actively out there committing the very crimes he was on the run for. And it really leaves you with a chilling question. If this one scammer was already a wanted felon, how many others are out there too, doing the exact same thing right now?